face-off. It can be such a momentum in lacrosse.
It can be,
score,
yes, sir.
get the ball right back, and then hopefully go down and score again.
Mm-hmm. Our past face-off guy, I believe Chase Mullins, graduated from St. Chris and is now at University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, which leaves Liam Wright in his footsteps, and he does a pretty good job. However, the Titans did get this possession.
Saints are playing man-to-man. Looks like they're really extending out, putting some pressure on the Trinity offensive player. There's a screen from number 6 for Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
Good recognition by the Saints. Good save.
Great save from Kent Good. Then tries to make another one, but the ball did not go
Good
close
hustle.
to him.
That's so impressive for a goalie to make those kind of saves and then quickly get to the end line to secure possession.
For sure. And Kent can also chuck the ball halfway across the field as well. The man is very athletic. Number 13, Jack Hall with the ball. Passes to Mason Stocks, over to Miles Harvey. Number 17, Preston Harrington is now in the game with Henry Westfall coming in as well. Charlie Butcher in the back, looking for Jack McCoy. Predominantly seniors on the field.
Trinity looks to be in a zone defense, packing it in. So the Saints are going to have perimeter passing. They'll get some outside shots, but it'll be important for the Saints to continue to work the zone to see if they can find some holes for close shots as well.
Yes, sir. And that was a shot by number 1, Miles Harvey. Sadly, it did not go in at the moment.
Another one thing that'll be nice for the Saints today, having a veteran goalie. Coach Horner's not here today, supporting his daughters, who are both college lacrosse players. But the goalie is so important for orchestrating your defense, and to have a veteran like Kent Good in goal.
Very much so, yes, sir.
That makes a big difference when your defensive coach in here for today's game.
Yes. I believe Kent actually started on varsity as a freshman, too, which is pretty remarkable.
And Kent would have also – we've had some wonderful goalies. Walker Wallace, unfortunately because of COVID, we didn't get to see that 2020 team.
Yeah. Nice
offense there. We didn't get to see the 2020 team play because of COVID, but Walker was a great goalie, and Kent and Walker worked together. And from a program standpoint, it's really nice when your older guys are teaching the younger guys, and then you have that next young guy coming along. And
now Kent has kind of taken on that legacy as well.
And he seems like he really embraces that as well, and wants the next group behind him to succeed once he graduates. But we got a state championship to win here first.
Exactly.
And a Prep League championship.
Yes, sir. Trinity with the ball. That is number 22, Connor Erlenbach. Over to number 6, I believe. That is Will Martin, who used to go to St. Christopher's School.
So let's see. Defensively, we're still in the man-to-man. Notice our defense will be really shading to the ball side, and it looked we had some good pressure earlier. Let's see how we close out here on 7.
Yeah. McGuire Boyd, number 5, is on the field as a sophomore. It's awesome for the team. As well as number 19, Henry Alejandro, a fellow sophomore of his. There's a shot by number 20. Number 20 is Tanner Snow. Sadly, it did not go in for the Titans, but good for the Saints.
We have a really strong core of sophomore defensemen.
We do,
Bo
yes, sir.
Stocks, Mr. Burke before the game said that Bo has had a spectacular season, and that's very high praise from our veteran coach, Mr. Burke, who is in his 34th season on the sidelines running the Saints program. And today he is going for win number 367.
That's awesome.
That is a lot of wins, many of which have occurred out here on Knowles Field. But yeah, that's very promising for the future of the Saints to have this core of sophomore defensemen.
Yes, sir.
All right, here we are. Trinity still in the zone.
It's number 4, Jack McCoy again to Miles Harvey. Over to 27, Henry Westfall, who could not catch it, sadly. Moves over to number 28 for Trinity. That's Robbie Dunn. Saints are back on defense at the moment.
Coach Burke, while Kent talked about getting off to a fast start, I know Coach Burke wanted to minimize turnovers today.
Yes, sir.
And so turnovers will happen. I think something to look at during the course of the game is, do we have a lot of turnovers or just a few? That hopefully that one turnover will be a wake-up call, and we won't have any more the rest of the way.
I agree. I see the Saints defense. This number 22 on the ball, Bo Stocks. Over to Davis Mack, switching positions. Switching sides. Davis has had a great season so far. A few goals for him. Mr. Mack has actually had 26 goals overall.
It's exciting. He will continue a nice St. Christopher's Hampton-Sydney lacrosse relationship next year when he heads to Farmville to play.
Yes, sir.
Hampton-Sydney always has a very strong lacrosse program. Nice save by Kent.
Great save.
Great technique on how he got his lacrosse stick to the head of the stick to the other side of his body.
Yeah. I also noticed Kent always has the stick right in front of him. He's always watching the ball, waiting for something to happen. It's key leadership on this team for sure.
It's fun to watch a player like that who makes something that is extremely difficult look incredibly easy, and that only comes from hours of practice.
That is skill for sure.
Well, it looks like here we have another weather delay, unfortunately. The forecast, I know we're calling for severe storms later today, so I think the hope was we would get it in, but this delay may not bode well for the continuation of the game today.
Sadly.
So we will probably need to check on the status and hopefully be back.
We just got word that everyone will be going inside. Thank you to those who have tuned in so far. As soon as we hear anything, we will let you know what will happen.
Saints up 1-0 with 5:11 remaining to go in the first quarter, and we will keep our fingers crossed that we can resume. And if we don't, Sam,
yes, sir.
I appreciate the opportunity to be out here with you. This has been a lot of fun, and I hope we get to continue this game.
Well, thank you for coming out. We always love to have you out here, sir.
Well, I appreciate you guys again. Do such a great job.
Thank you.
And appreciate the opportunity to support the Saints and to be a part of one of the best teams we have in the school, which is the sports information team.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We will be right back, stream. Thank you for your patience.
Welcome back after a delay. We have returned to Knowles Field, 1-0 Saints, 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. That was actually our second delay. We had one before the start of the game and then the one we just concluded. So, Sam, here we are again, seeing how both teams are going to respond to another start situation after being in the field house for a little bit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's great to see our players back on the field.
Hopefully we will be able to get this game in. Both teams, coaching staffs, players go to a lot of effort, fans to be out here watching, and we do have a steady group of supporters of both teams who are here to watch the two teams compete this afternoon.
Yes, sir. And it looks like we have the same offense. That's Miles Harvey. That is also number 9, Charlie Butcher, except for number 30, who is now in the game as well. I do not see 20, excuse me, Mason Stocks on the field.
Saints, both teams have now turned the ball over here to start, and I know that's something the coaches don't want to see, but it's hard coming after a delay when you get limited warm-up time to just pick back up and be ready to play. So these first few minutes could feel a bit like a warm-up for both teams as they get acclimated.
That is correct, yeah.
Trinity is back in the zone. I'll be interested to see if the Saints can find a way to slip Davis Mack into the center of the zone, or perhaps Mason Stocks in there, number 20. Davis is number 7. If they can get behind the defense and find a vacant area for a quick pass and shot.
Yes, sir, I agree. That's number 9, Charlie Butcher with the ball now. Passes it to Mason Stocks, who shoots, or tries to, excuse me, but defenders all on him.
Nice.
That was a save by number 24, Caden Clark, the goalie for Trinity Episcopal.
Mason Stocks did a great job coming up with the loose ball and quickly bearing a shot in the back of the net. He really ripped that one. 2-0 Saints, 3 minutes and 26 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
It was a great attempt by the goalie, but Mason Stocks was too fast.
All right, another face-off opportunity. Trinity has won the first 2 face-offs, and it looks like we had a violation, so now Trinity with possession. Saints have yet to retain possession after a goal. As we talked about, that can be such a momentum boost to score and get the ball back.
Yeah.
Saints in the man-to-man. McGuire Boyd putting some good pressure on Trinity's number 7, Will Hall, moments ago.
Number 11, Walker Mullins, up on the field now. Mullins is actually having a great season so far. He's had 1 assist as a sophomore, I believe.
Good help there from number 11, Walker Mullins, who you just mentioned, coming over to force a double team and a turnover. Saints have to feel good about that defensive possession. Trinity putting pressure on the clear, and that's the benefit of pressuring the clear because it can result in an unforced turnover. Saints have to be frustrated with that, but I know that Coach Burke will help make the adjustments, and the Saints will get that fixed.
Yeah. Coming in now for the Saints is number 13. That is Jack Hall.
Orchestrating the substitutions today for the Saints is Coach Taylor Moorman, who is in his 5th year as an assistant with the Saints. And Coach Moorman is a graduate of St. Christopher's. He played football, basketball, and lacrosse here, and he was a 2-time state champion playing for Coach Burke. So it's great to have Coach Moorman in that important role of substituting, because he knows Coach Burke's system so well and what Coach Burke and Coach Horner are looking for.
It's a dynamic duo for sure, Coach.
Yes, that continuity on the staff is great. Coach Horner and Coach Burke have coached together for 22 years, and that familiarity is so important. Good hustle there for the Saints to secure possession. Now let's see if Trinity, again, it looks like what kind of pressure they're putting on. Maybe a little zone pressure here.
Yes, sir.
Saints had Lacrosse, you have 20 seconds to clear the ball. Saints did it in 14 seconds there, and now they have 62 seconds remaining on the shot clock. First penalty of the game, so let's see what the Saints can do here and hopefully be in a man-up situation.
Yes, sir. Looks like number 4, Jack Mccoy, is plotting something, passes it to Henry Westfall. Looking downfield to Preston Harrington just in the game. Looks like he might take a shot, but passes to Westfall again. Slippery, wet field. It's hard for the ball to stay intact, but Westfall's doing a great job with that. Number 9, Charlie Butcher, another senior, as already mentioned, runs up and back to Jack to reset the play.
Trinity still in the zone, really packing it in. All right. Hard shot from Miles Harvey, and then the ricochet out of bounds. And let's see, it looks like the Saints retain possession. We have some substitutions. Right now we've got coming into the game number 26, Braxton Bourne. Braxton, number 26, is a sophomore attackman.
Looks like Mason Stocks will be heading off into this play. Starting with that, you got number 4 out here with number 1, Miles Harvey. Out here with number 26. Number 26 is also Braxton Bourne, as Coach just mentioned.
That was a nice save from Trinity's goalie, number 24, Caden Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's see what kind of pressure the Saints put on in the clear situation. And that's the end of the first quarter.
Saints are 2-0 Trinity. It's a great start for the first quarter.
Obviously good to be up.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a Saints fan, you're pleased with that. Pleased with no goals for Trinity. Always good to have a shutout going. But I think Coach Burke is probably talking to the team about taking care of the ball, because while it's 2-0, ideally it would be 4 or 5-0 without some of those unforced turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a different situation when you have these delays, and so I think they're using this quarter break to refocus and talk about what they want to do in the second half. And I would expect the Saints to play a sharper quarter coming up here.
I agree. I definitely saw a plethora of Trinity defenders in the goal at one point. It's very hard for the Saints to defend a large group like that. Maybe Coach Burke is talking a little bit about that as well.
And have to give credit to Trinity as well. Their coach, Dave Daly, had to make some adjustments from the first time that the Saints and Trinity played. That game was back on March 22nd, and St. Christopher's won convincingly 15-2. So Trinity's strategy here appears to not get into a shootout with the Saints. Slow the game down, pack in the zone. Hopefully that will lead to longer St. Christopher's possessions and make them shoot from outside rather than getting quick transition goals. And that's kept Trinity in striking distance. So we'll see if St. Chris can maybe pick up the tempo and break it open a little bit.
I agree. Looking over here, I see number 6, Kent Good, our goalie, on the opposite side. Now I guess we're switching goalie sides. Coming in, it is number 23 for Trinity, Taylor Benson.
So here we have St. Christopher's putting some pressure. Trinity with the clear.
Over to number 6, Kent Good, straight to him. I'm looking to see oh, never mind. I was going to say a nice giant pass downfield, but no, I cannot see that.
Now let's see if we can get a little transition going. St. Christopher's clears the Trinity zone pressure. Substitutions coming back.
And it looks like a flag is also thrown on the field as well by one of the refs. Harrington in the game again. as well as Harvey.
Trinity really packing it in. Look at Jack McCoy, who's one of our top players. Moments ago, I mean, he's got 3 or 4 Trinity players surrounding him. There's a nice shot.
Yes, that was a goal by number 27, Henry Westfall. Brings the Saints up 3-0 against Trinity in the second quarter. Roughly 11 minutes left in this quarter as well.
Great reversal and a very nice shot from Henry Westfall. Those are the shots that are going to be there, especially if Trinity is going to put 3 or 4 players in front of the cage surrounding Saints offensive players like Jack McCoy there. Jack isn't going to get any kind of statistic for that goal, but I think that the respect that Trinity's defense had for Jack opened up a shooting lane for Henry Westfall in that last goal.
I completely agree. Looking at the statistics here for Mr. McCoy, it's evident that Mr. McCoy actually, excuse me, I'm looking here. I don't see Jack's name on here.
Let's see.
Sadly, I see it. Mr. McCoy has 78 shots and counting with 34 goals and 29 assists all season. What a prominent player for St. Chris for sure.
63 total points for Jack McCoy. The next highest point total, Miles Harvey, has 39 for the Saints. So, and both are wonderful players, but with those kind of numbers, Jack McCoy is going to draw a lot of attention from opposing defenses. Here we are, again, Trinity putting some zone pressure on the Saints. One thing about zone pressure, there's the transition we're looking for. Nice shot. Miles Harvey, number 1, with a great fake low and then goes high for the goal. But that's the transition opportunities that St. Christopher's will really thrive upon. The zone pressure that Trinity is running on the clear, it can sometimes slow a team down because the offense has to look at the zone. Whereas when it's man-to-man, you can quickly just run by somebody.
Yes.
And that's why I think we're seeing a lot of zone for Trinity trying to slow down the Saints' attack.
And I believe that was a shot there from number 22. Number 22 for Trinity is Connor Erlenbach. He's a senior. It was a good try. He did get there fast. But now number 6 for Trinity, that is Will Martin. Coming up with the ball, and it's out again.
Trinity will retain possession. Good physical defense there from number 22, Bo Stocks.
Yes, sir.
Great save, Kent Good. He makes it look easy. Now let's see the Saints attacking in transition. One way you know you're trying to run a fast break is when you have a defensive player at the offensive end. And number 11, Walker Mullins, comes off, and the Saints will get their offensive unit back on the field. We've talked about Kent Good earlier, and we talked about Jack McCoy a little bit. And then another senior captain is Preston Harrington.
Yes, sir.
And all 3 of those senior captains are such good leaders and incredibly positive guys. And Preston has torn his ACL 2 different times.
He has, yes, sir.
And when you think about the Saints' record at 12-5, we started 0-4. And we were playing good teams, but to have that kind of senior leadership is very important to helping a team understand that the goal is at the end of the year, and that's why we're competing for a Prep League championship right now rather than letting a slow start get us down. And,
yes,
and those senior captains, I think, have done a great job of leadership with this team.
I agree. And many are also committed, for the sport itself. Like we were talking about, Mr. Good is committed to UNC. Miles Harvey, even though he's not a senior, to High Point University, Davis Mack to Hampton-Sydney, and I'm sure there will be a few more hopefully soon for the rising juniors.
Henry Westfall is another future college player.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Long is a
Yes, sir. Air Force Academy, I believe.
Air Force, yep. Trinity is staying with their zone.
It's good to see some great defense from number 5, McGuire Boyd, with the ball right now. Over to Jack McCoy.
All right. Saints are setting their offense.
Excuse me, Coach. I misread that. I thought I saw the 9 as a 5.
Sometimes when we're up here in the booth, I think the viewers at home, if they're watching on a big HD TV, have a better view than we do.
Exactly. Yes, sir. It's all about if the person turns their back or not. It's hard to say.
Transition opportunity for Trinity, and
out at the moment.
The Trinity
is calling for a timeout.
Got a timeout before the turnover. Their coach saw what was about to happen. Sometimes the best use of a timeout is to prevent a turnover.
Yes, sir.
A lot of times coaches will like to call timeouts to set up a play, and there's certainly a time for that. But sometimes if a team is looking rushed, or you can see a trap coming, or a bad decision about to be made, that
a new player comes in.
Yes, sir. It can be a good use of a timeout. So 4-0 Saints, 7:19 to go in the second quarter. Sam, how do you feel the Saints have come out in this second quarter, but especially after the second delay?
Well, we've doubled our goals for starters, which is great. Great so far. You know, this game is moving pretty fast as opposed to some other games, which means that the Saints are retaining the ball very well. There have been very little shot clock violations, if that. There have been very few flags as well on the Saints' behalf, which is awesome to see. Mr. Burke is coaching very well this game. It's very hard to play on the turf, especially when it's raining for this type of sport, but the boys are doing really great at that.
I think you're exactly right on the penalty front.
Yes, sir.
Especially, you don't want to turn it over, and you don't want to have penalties. And so far, the Saints have played a very clean game.
Yes, sir, I agree. Thank you to our 20 viewers at the moment. We appreciate the viewers and the subscribers as well.
Especially sticking with us after the delays. Those are loyal Saints lacrosse fans.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And the streaming service, again, is such a wonderful feature to be able to watch these games from home or from states far away, different countries.
Yes, sir.
It really is a neat thing that we didn't have 10 years ago. Coach Lewis, running the sports information program with all of the St. Christopher students, has just done a remarkable job. And we talk about our graduates who go on to play college sports when we do these games, but there are a number of graduates who have gone on to pursue sports information in college, which is very exciting.
I agree. Jack McCoy, as of right now, passes to Mason Stocks, who tried to shoot, but sadly there was no goal.
That was a great look from Jack.
It was.
Putting pressure on the defense with the drive and then finding Mason. Mason will be heading to Notre Dame next year. Wonderful school. Mason is campus leader, excellent lacrosse player, and to go to a school like Notre Dame, clearly a wonderful student as well.
A spectacular student. Mason Stocks is actually in my statistics class, and he's well above the class in his respect.
He's put up some good statistics on the field this year, too.
He has. As a matter of fact, Mr. Mason Stocks over here, brother of Bo Stocks as well, so both are working together on the same team.
So there is a goal from Captain Preston Harrington, number 17.
Yes, sir.
And thinking back to Mason, Mason has 19 goals on the year and then 15 assists for 34 total points. And that balance of 19 goals and 15 assists shows that he's a threat to shoot it himself, but also he'll make a great play for a teammate and set up a teammate.
He's a great team player for sure. That's almost an even ratio. And Mr. Stocks will only improve that ratio. So
another face-off win there for number 22, Connor Erlenbach from Trinity. He's a strong senior player for the Titans. 5-0 Saints, 5:25 to go in the second quarter. I wonder if we will have an abbreviated halftime given the weather delays that we've had.
I believe we might. I'm sure the Saints would love to play, though.
Yeah, I figure if by this point I don't think any of the players or fans want another delay of any kind. Let's keep this game going.
Yes, sir.
All right, now
number 6, Kent Good with the ball at the moment for the Saints. Side passes it to number 32. I believe that is Charlie Long. Moving downfield over to Jack McCoy. Mullins out of the game. Going in is number 37 and number 3. That is Riley Mullins as number 3, and number 37 is Miller Porterfield.
Saints substitute to get their offensive unit on the field.
Henry Westfall with the ball right now.
Trinity is staying in that zone.
Speaking of that offense, the Saints had a great offense just now. Sadly, Westfall could not make the shot, but everyone was looking for each other, looking where to pass, keeping the ball in movement.
This one key reason for the success of the Saints, nice move there by number 23 for Trinity. That is Taylor Benson to split the defense. This team for St. Chris seems very unselfish in their ball movement, which has contributed to the very strong record so far.
No one is looking to be the star of the game. Everyone is, helping each other, making sure that they're all good for shots. Bless you.
Even though the score right now is 5-0, have to give, and they do have a turnover there, an unforced turnover, but have to give Trinity credit for sticking to their game plan and coming out and playing hard against a strong Saints team. St. Christopher's has such a strong defense, and then you put Kent Good back there. It makes it really hard to score.
I agree. A notable player for Trinity is number 19. That's Henry Caudle. He's a defensive player. He's had a great season so far as well.
Now, Trinity has been in the zone, but they are very aware of Jack McCoy, number 4. It seems like he always has a body around him, and for good reason, given his 63 total points on the year. There's a
could not tell if that was a pass or a shot. I believe it was a pass to Jack.
Looked like we've got Manoli Lupasi in the game now, number 23, and he's a big physical attackman. Nice play by Jack McCoy.
That was great by Jack McCoy. Let's see if he can make it.
Jack.
Yes, sir.
What a play.
Great goal by number 4, Jack McCoy. Snagged the ball. Just runs and shoots. 4 defenders on him.
That's the kind of play that a prep league player of the year makes.
Yes, sir.
The great defense, the alertness, and we all knew what was going to happen when Jack had that lane to the goal. That was going to end up in the back of the net. Great play.
When Jack has an open lane, you better watch out. He's going to make it.
Jack McCoy is the kind of young man that every coach and every team needs. I had the good fortune of coaching Jack this past year on the basketball team.
Yes, sir.
And he is such a hard worker and so positive that teams are always better when you have a guy like Jack Mccoy on the team. And then when you can play like Jack McCoy, it makes it even better. What a great finish there a moment ago.
Yes, sir. On Trinity is number 5 at the moment. That's McGuire Boyd.
Are you starting the clock?
Stick was knocked out of the hands by McGuire.
Good check.
Good check there. Number 22 over to number 6, Kent Good, who chucks it downfield straight to someone.
See if
we cannot
can
catch
keep it in play.
Mully tried. It was a great effort by him.
Just a few inches away here on a couple of these possessions from turning a stop into a quick transition goal. We saw what could happen moments ago when Jack got the steal and score, and right there was another opportunity that we didn't quite connect on. Transition opportunity for Trinity. Number 20, Tanner Snow, pushing the ball up the field. Trinity will reset their offense.
Number 13 for Trinity, Jack Pruitt with the ball now, trying to make a move.
Saints are staying with their man-to-man. Talked to Kent Good before the game, and one of the things that he commented was how much he likes the sophomore defenseman. And that makes such a difference when you have that chemistry.
For sure.
I think a lot of times people would expect chemistry with senior defensemen and a senior goalie, but I know that that's something that Kent has worked on to cultivate with his defensemen. And he was really appreciative of the sophomores because he said that they are just like sponges. So anytime he tries to share information with them, they absorb it and want to learn and be the best defense they can be.
And that's great teamwork and leadership from Mr. Good over there.
30 seconds to go in the quarter.
Another shot there and a goal.
Guess who?
Number 4, Jack McCoy, Coach.
Jack McCoy.
Yes,
he is
sir.
Heating up. And that could be very dangerous for Trinity as they're huddling to talk about adjustments to make because Jack just draws so much attention.
Exactly.
And now that Jack's getting it going a little bit, Trinity's going to have to worry about him that much more, and it'll free up other players like Henry Westfall and Miles Harvey, Preston Harrington to get looks.
As we can see now, Jack does not have a big celebration after every goal. He's back on the field. He's making sure he's passing it. He's looking for the next thing to happen, and that is something that is very crucial for this team. The team does a great job of that as a whole.
Jack seems very focused, like all the players do, on what they want to achieve this year. Before the game, there was no talk about anything other than focusing on coming out and playing well, not looking at the previous outcome. So we get a shot before the end of the
it was a
quarter.
good try.
Good look.
I believe someone actually tried to check Miles and then got knocked over.
Nice save there for Trinity, again, from number 24, Caden Clark. So we'll see. Coaches are signaling to not have a halftime or maybe just a brief one so we can get this game in. So I think
we are investigating into the halftime. We have Coach Lewis, Coach Burke, and Coach Mormon out on the field right now.
it looks like the coaches are kind of working out what is needed for halftime. So I don't know if we have a procedure in place. Looks like we're maybe going to go with a 5-minute halftime.
Yes, sir.
So before we take a quick break, finishing up a recap of the first half as we look to the second. It was 2-0 at the end of the quarter. Saints were off to a slower start than I think they'd hoped. Trinity's defense and game plan very strong. Saints really got it going.
They did. They put 5 goals up on the board in the course of a quarter and a half, maybe.
I think a very key play in that was the Jack Mccoy quick steal and a goal. That is, I would say, the equivalent of a basketball slam dunk. You know, I like to put things in basketball terms.
Yes,
you know, the steal and the dunk, or a pick six in football, because Trinity felt good about getting a stop, and then all of a sudden the ball's in the back of the net. And that was a really big momentum play for the Saints.
Yes, sir. It really was. And we will be right back. Thank you for tuning in with us. Thank you, Coach Hamill, for joining us for the first half. Coach Hamill and I would like to let you know that we love subscribers. If you can, it helps the channel grow. It helps the channel, do whatever it needs to, and you get a cookie, as Max says. So.
We know we've got the Saints Nation out there.
Of course.
So we love your support. So yeah, hit that like, subscribe button.
We go.
And we'll be back for the second half here in about 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Thank you, folks. We'll be right back. And we are good. Welcome back to the third quarter, folks. Saints 7, Trinity Episcopal 0 at the moment. Our face-off guy did not get – oh, the Saints did actually get the ball during that face-off. Charlie Long being attacked by number 20 on Trinity as well as number 22. Trinity's coming in defensively.
That – surprised there's not a – is there a penalty there?
There should have been. The man just jumped on him from what I saw.
Good.
Nice connection there by Henry Westfall, number 27, over to Mason Stocks.
Trinity looks like they've extended their zone a little bit. Down 7-0. You can't just sit back and let the Saints run time and get what they want. So they've extended a little bit. Very important, regardless of who you're playing and the score, to develop the habit of always coming out in the second half and starting off well.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's 7-0, playing a team that the Saints have beaten previously, I know Coach Burke and Coach Mormon, they want to come out and see a sharp start to the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Trinity is now packed in their zone a little bit more. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Shot is missed, but the Saints will retain possession. Shot clock does not reset because the ball did not hit the goalie or the pipe. So rather than throw it up without a reasonable chance of getting a shot with only 2 seconds, the Saints will lay the ball down so they can set their defense and set up their ride and see if Trinity can effectively clear it, which they do. Transition opportunity. Next week is going to be a very big week, and I know that Saints need to finish this game. That's still a 7-goal lead with plenty of time left, but next week will determine the Prep League Championship. The Saints play at Woodbury Forest on Tuesday, and then they host Collegiate on Thursday for Senior Day out here on Knowles Field. Collegiate has 1 loss in the Prep League. Nice shot.
And that was the goal for Trinity that they were looking for.
Nice shot there from number 22, Connor Erlenbach. He's a very good player.
He is, yes, sir.
He's done well with face-offs. He really ripped that. Anytime you score, as we've said, against Kent Good, it's admirable, and that was a very nice shot.
That is very true.
But looking ahead to next week, and
yes, sir.
The Saints will play Woodbury on Tuesday, Collegiate on Thursday. Woodbury has, I believe, 3 losses in the Prep League. Collegiate has 1. The Saints are the only team in the Prep League that is currently undefeated, so they control their own destiny.
Yes, sir. And the Saints actually won yesterday in baseball as well against Miller. Or excuse me. They will play Miller tomorrow at 1 o'clock on Jacobs Field.
Sam, before we took our halftime break, we asked all our listeners to like and subscribe and to make sure that they kept watching. And I've just got notice that my wife and 3 little girls are at home watching the stream. So I'd like to say hello to my wife, Susanna, and my daughters, Ann Pinkney, Rennie, and Helen. I hope you guys are enjoying this exciting game of Saints Lacrosse, and appreciate you guys tuning in. I know we'd be happy to give additional shout-outs to any viewers that are watching. We appreciate you.
Of course. Thank you all for watching.
Saints back on offense here, 7-1, 8:52 to go. Senior Sam Hubert on the call, and I'm Hamill Jones, guest appearing as a commentator.
The best commentator guest there is.
I appreciate it. This has been something I've wanted to do for a long time. Coach Lewis finally said it was a busy day and called me in, and I appreciate you guys letting me join you.
Of course.
Now the question, you guys have some great sports information department gear.
We do, yes, sir.
Is there any way that I could get a hat or a shirt or, to commemorate this?
I'm sure. I believe Mac Miller over here can definitely help you out with that.
All right, perfect. That would make my day. I'd wear it with pride because you guys do such a good job.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see here. Trinity Sting, again with their zone. Little screen, nice look there. Number 17 for the Saints. That was Preston Harrington, was trying to set a screen for Miles Harvey for a little curl action. Saints were in the crease right before a good goal opportunity for Miles. Number 11, Walker Mullins, checks back in. Oh!
That's another goal for number 4, Jack Mccoy. Just as we were saying, insane.
What a fake spin move. And then notice Jack. Sam, you mentioned this earlier. He points to the assist man. He's not showy. He makes a spectacular move, and he just acts like it's any other play. What a fun player to watch and cheer for.
I agree.
Jack McCoy is going to have quite a highlight tape when his Saints career is done. I still remember last year he ripped a left-handed game winner against Woodbury Forest. That was just spectacular.
Very, very valuable player for this school.
There's a nice clear transition opportunity.
And he snags the ball right there, heading downfield, looking for something to do. He's obviously planning something. He knows something's about to happen. So Miller comes in the game, passes to him. Looking out for Miles Harvey, a third pass with number 3.
Riley Mullins.
Yes, sir.
Into the game.
Stockton Butcher looking for something to do. Back to McCoy.
Sam, one thing that's going to be nice next year, very nice offensive possession and ball movement there. But one thing that's going to be nice next year, we experienced some weather delays, and fortunately this game was starting early enough, but for so many Saints sports games next year, the addition of lights on Knowles Field and then on Jacobs Field will give us the benefit of being able to finish games a little bit later if we hit a weather delay. There have been times in the past where there might be lightning or or during football or lacrosse, and the players have had to go in, and then if it's getting dark, can't play, and teams have to go home, and it's not as big a deal for a team like Trinity that's in town. It's easier to make those games up, but when you're playing teams that have traveled from a long way, for them to have to come back, it would be better to just wait it out and then be able to finish the game with lights. So that's going to be something that will be a nice feature next year.
And thank you to Mr. Leckie and everyone who's helped with that process to make that happen. I'm sure everyone, including myself and Mr. Hamill, would love to see those games.
It'll be fun, and I think there are going to be some games that are dedicated night games, but a lot of it will be just being able to finish practice, or sometimes maybe in late May lacrosse or August, September football when it's really hot. You can start the game a little bit later.
A cooler night, yes,
Cooler
sir.
night, which will be nice, and that's important for player safety.
Which as well brings more fans.
Absolutely.
There's a slash called for 1 minute.
Saints will be man down. So in a man down situation, you have to go zone because you don't have enough defensemen to account for all the offensive players. So Saints have been playing man-to-man, so now we'll see how they look in their zone rotations. Trinity will work the ball, try to find a 3-on-2 or a 2-on-1 situation on one side of the field. There's a nice play. That was a well-executed zone play by Trinity. Number 7 set a nice screen, which gave them a good look at a scoring opportunity, but another save and stop by the Saints defense. Always good when you can get a stop in a man-down situation.
Mm-hmm. This is number 7, Davis Mack, over to McCoy over there. Heavily focused on seniors. I believe it's 3 seniors, 2 juniors on the field at the moment. One of them being number 1, Miles Harvey, moving down towards the goal.
Trinity, you'll see, has extended their defense. They were trying to pack it in early, and you can do that when the game is close, trying to keep it close. But
and was that,
another
goal for Mr. McCoy? That did.
It's another goal, Jack McCoy. And as Trinity has to expand their defense out to cover more of the field, that's going to open up driving lanes for Saints players. And Jack was able to get in closer than he was able to get in maybe the first quarter. Mm-hmm. And that's a great job by Jack over the course of the game of being patient, because early on, we didn't mention his name for the first few minutes of the broadcast because Trinity was so focused on him, other players were getting shots. But now it's really opened up, and kind of Jack McCoy has made plays that have blown this game open.
Yeah.
Trinity wins, so the Saints will be back on defense. And Sam, you might be able to help me out with this.
Yes, sir.
I was in the dining hall earlier today as the Saints get a stop here, but I was in the dining hall eating lunch, and I noticed some guys were dressed uniquely, and I figured I heard that it was all of the defensemen on the Lacrosse team. Maybe tell our viewers what that's all about. What are they wearing? Why do they do it? How long have they been doing it?
Yeah. So I do not know how long specifically, but I do know that the defensive gentlemen of the team do dress very spiffy during game days at certain times. One of which being noted was, I believe, McGuire Boyd I saw today in a nice bluish suit. A very nice turtleneck as well.
Yeah, it looked like a sport jacket, turtleneck, and some jewelry as well.
Yes, sir.
So it's sort of kind of looked like maybe a 1980s type look. And
I believe that as well. Yes, sir.
So they're obviously having fun with it, but it's really neat. I think that nice goal there, number 23, Manoli Lupasi.
Yes, sir.
Great shot, going hard to his right and finishing. He is a big physical attackman, and that gives the Saints a different look. When he gets that shot up high for a goalie, it's a little different when you have a guy that's 6'2" or 6'3" that is firing that shot from a different release point. Manoli is a good athlete. I saw him in the field house, and I don't think his dad would mind me saying this, but I used to play basketball with Manoli's dad, who is a really hard-nosed player on the basketball court. But I saw young Manoli, go up and touch the rim or hang on the rim or dunk it. And then I joked with his father that how come I never saw him do that like your son can? He got a laugh out of that. But thinking back to the defense and the way they dress and finishing that thought, I think it speaks to the bonding that they have.
For sure.
And as a unit, and they're having fun together and very cohesive.
Yes, I totally agree. And a very cohesive member now, Miles Harvey gives it to Charlie Butcher, number 9, who shoots but sadly does not make it.
That was a great look by Miles, and sometimes the shot doesn't go in, but that was good offense. Charlie was in the right spot. He was ready to shoot it. Just didn't go in. Now those are the ones that are frustrating for the Saints, and I know that they'll want to clean up heading into next week, or those unforced turnovers. Every time you turn it over is the time you don't get to shoot, and gives the ball back to the other team. 10-1 Saints, though, 1:55 to go in the third quarter. Transition opportunity, but Jack Mccoy, number 4, wants to make sure that the Saints are set. Sam, interesting, before the game, there we go. Number 23.
Manoli again.
Manoli.
Second goal.
Manoli Lupasi is starting to heat up. Ask Coach Burke how many games they'll play on turf versus grass, and he said now every game except for one is on turf. And it was a few years ago some of the schools would have grass and some would have turf, and that changes the game because just how the ball bounces. You can roll it to a teammate if you want to on turf in a way that you can't for grass. But now it seems everything is focused on playing on turf. Timeout
Was
Trinity.
called. Yes, sir.
That looked like another instance where the coach for Trinity, Coach Daly, saw a possible turnover waiting to happen as the Saints had a pretty good double team in the corner.
I definitely saw that as well.
And
just like we were talking about before, it's great to call those timeouts when you feel like something might happen.
Yep.
Like that.
Now they'll be able to set up their offense. And the last time Trinity was in, or actually the last time they were in the man-down situation, Trinity ran a really nice pick play, got a good look at a shot. So Trinity will probably be drawing something up. Be interesting to see if the Saints stay man-to-man or did they come out and give a different defensive look. Sometimes if they've been playing man and Trinity calls timeout to draw a man play, St. Chris might come out in the zone or do something a little bit different to disrupt whatever Trinity is trying to do in the timeout. Looks like Coach Mormon is working with the offense today, and Coach Burke is working with the defense. Coach Burke is a former college lacrosse player at Denison. And Coach Mormon played lacrosse at the University of Lynchburg. And speaking of college lacrosse, a lot of St. Christopher's alumni are doing wonderful things in lacrosse, in college lacrosse right now. The recent Highlight Express email communication was very lacrosse-focused, deservingly so. Hartley Jordan, class of 19, who's at VMI, was named to the All-Southern Conference team. Christopher Newport is the #1 team in Division III, and Jackson Deal, class of 17, and Burke Widhelm have helped the captains to a 16-0 record and a #1 national ranking. And then Sewanee won their conference title thanks in large part to Luke Valentine, Jack Westfall, and Davis Gillenwater, all members of the class of 2019.
Exactly, and we got a quick substitution on the mic. Sam had to take care of a little personal problem with his car right here, so I'll be taking over.
So we've got Max Berry ready to step in. He's been working on the computer behind the scenes, but that just shows you the quality of the sports information department.
Right,
you guys
exactly.
are always ready to step in and solve any problem and keep the stream running for our fans at home.
Exactly. We try to be versatile. Like somebody could be working the camera, they could step in on the mic, or the mic could step in on the computer, any one of those jobs. So,
Max, how long have you been part of the sports information program?
I've been a part of the sports information program for 4 years now. I started when I was a freshman, really not knowing what I was getting myself into, and just kind of built up a passion for it over time. So, yeah, it's definitely been a good journey for me.
What's been your favorite part of working for the SID crew with all the different jobs? I mean, this is quite an operation. It's fun to be a part of it. But we've got cameramen, we've got the computer.
Exactly.
They're guys working the clock and the scoreboard. What do you like the best?
I think my favorite job here is just the commentation. I love doing commentary. I love making up, little things about plays and saying certain stuff. I love the commentary. The computer's nice if you want to take a little break, a little breather and everything, just be behind the scenes, but commentary is really me.
Do you ever get feedback? And we've got 12 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Right.
Saints are going to try and get a quick look, and we'll see what happens.
Ooh.
Oh, what a shot.
Wow.
Number 20, Mason Stocks, going to his left. 2.7 seconds left. What an impressive shot. It did not look like the Saints were going to get a great look there, and then before you know it, the ball's in the back of the net.
Exactly. Mason Stocks with that great buzzer beater goal right there with 2.7 seconds to go there.
Now, I should know this. That was a left-handed shot, and I want to see if Mason is right-handed or left-handed, because if he is right-handed
right,
and he made that shot lefty, he made that look very smooth.
Exactly.
And that's, again, a reflection of hours and hours of practice and playing lacrosse from a young age.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he is right-handed. So, yeah, that's definitely a skillful play from just being able to switch to that left hand and put it in the goal right there.
So 12-1 here at the end of the third quarter. The Saints have built momentum, which has been great to see. But Trinity, really made things tough with it being 2-0 at the end of the quarter. They had good defensive game plan, forced the Saints into some turnovers. But as we talked about earlier, the Saints have a lot of really good players. They're cohesive, an excellent goalie. Coaches have made adjustments, and I think that the depth and speed of the Saints have really kind of taken over here in the last two quarters.
Yeah, definitely. And with Saints up by such a significant margin, I just feel like the Saints' morale is just so high that it's kind of hard for Trinity to even start a comeback here. So.
And one thing Trinity did as well, which as a coach, this is something that you have to think about, and I give Trinity's coach credit for doing this. The game plan early on was to slow things down, pack it in, make it very difficult for St. Christopher's to score, and they were doing that.
Right.
But St. Christopher's built a 2-0 lead, then got the 4-0, 5-0, and as a coach, you have to make a decision. Do you want to continue with that strategy, knowing that you're not going to be able to have a chance to come back and win when you're playing a slow-down pace and you're down 5 goals?
Exactly.
So Trinity extended their pressure a little bit, trying to see if they could generate some offense or some turnovers, but St. Christopher's was able to capitalize and get some transition goals and kind of blow the game open. But it's been a very competitive game. I think the score is a little bit misleading at 12-1 because it hasn't necessarily been easy by any stretch.
Right.
And Trinity's got good players. Number 22, we've talked about him. Connor Erlenbach, he's been great on face-offs and had a very nice goal earlier. So this has been a good competitive game. I think if we look back at the tape from March, both teams have improved since that first matchup.
Yeah, and just stepping into this fourth quarter, I would like to see Trinity, get some more goals on the board and just kind of have something to show for the effort that they put into this game so far.
Yeah, I think you want to see, both teams really continue to compete, and I expect them to. And I think both teams will probably have an opportunity to maybe run some guys through who help out each team in, with their daily contributions and in practice and from the team chemistry standpoint.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good point you made. St. Chris is up by such a significant margin that, like you said, just throw in some players that don't really see too much playing time and let them get some experience on the field and everything.
Yeah. And we'll want to definitely finish sharp on with a big week coming up next week. But I expect we'll start seeing some guys running through here in the fourth quarter. Max, I wanted to ask you another question about your role with the SID group.
Yep.
Were you, when you started out, and I'm saying this for my first time doing this, and
right.
You've got listeners out there, it's a little nervous.
Exactly.
When you know that there are viewers at home. Were you ever nervous, or how was your experience?
Yeah, I think the first time I was a little bit nervous. I let the nerves get to me. But I feel like over time you start doing the commentary more and more, and you just get more comfortable with it. And it gets to a point where you don't even worry about the viewers at home. You kind of just have a conversation one-on-one with the person you're on the mic with. And I feel like when you get to that point, you just get really comfortable, and it's just almost natural.
Do you go back and ever study your games that you call?
Honestly, that's a good point that you made. I probably should look back and just see how I've improved over the years.
I don't know if I'm going to want to do that because I don't necessarily like hearing my voice on an answering machine.
Right.
So I don't know if I'm going to want to listen to my attempt at broadcasting this game, but it sure is fun. And it's always nice to be broadcasting a game too, when as the home team for the Saints, when the Saints are having a good game like they are today.
Yeah, and I will give it to you. You've been performing really well in the commentary. You've done your research and everything before the game. You've been very.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't want to let you guys down. I wanted to show my respect to you and the Saints Lacrosse program by coming prepared.
Right.
Nice look. Wow, that would have been a great goal.
Yeah.
Richmond Southall slipping in there, and that was a real quick catch and shot, but nice save by Trinity's goalie, number 24, Caden Clark, who's made a number of nice plays today.
Yeah, I was about to say, it kind of looked like an alley-oop for a second because it was really quick through his a stick right there, so definitely interesting.
Plays like that, again, speak to the chemistry where the ball movement is so quick.
Right.
12-1, 9:16 to go in the fourth quarter. Saints are in command after 2 weather delays earlier.
Right.
It's alumni weekend here at St. Christopher, so hopefully we have some of our alums back today catching the game, and there will be a number of events on campus tomorrow. That's always special to have the alums back. Max, you're going to be an alum here pretty soon.
Exactly.
Probably hard to believe.
I know, definitely hard to believe. I've been here for 13 years, and I can't believe I'm already graduating in like 20 or so days here, so definitely going to be a special moment.
It's got to be fun to call these games and watch your classmates. Do they watch
the
streaming?
Yeah.
And I'm sure they appreciate having their classmates call the games.
Yeah, exactly. If I say something funny on the stream or something like that, they always make sure to tell me in class or something like that, like, oh, Max, we watched it back, and you said this, this, and this, and all that. So it's cool.
The always love watching the streams of the basketball games, and every year you guys do something more and more to improve the quality of the broadcast. This year I was impressed. You guys brought a dance cam to timeouts to some basketball games, which was really funny.
Yeah, that was the work of T Bowles right there. It was a little improv. Like, quick goal by Miles Harvey right there.
What a shot by Miles, the High Point commit.
Yeah.
High Point last night in a very exciting game lost 11-10 to our hometown Richmond Spiders.
Wow.
In the semifinals of the SoCon tournament. And the Spiders will be playing for the championship and an automatic NCAA tournament bid. But High Point has to be happy to have player like Miles Harvey come into their program, especially after a great shot like that.
Yeah, definitely. Miles is a really great attackman, brings a lot of energy to the team and everything. Very fast, so yeah, I'd like to see what he does at High Point. And also Kent Good, who's committed to UNC. We'll be seeing him on TV, which is kind of hard to believe.
Very exciting. Cool. Yeah, the Tar Heels are going to have a lot of fans in the St. Chris community next year, with Kent going to North Carolina Chapel Hill to play lacrosse and Andre Green going there to play football. So we might see a fair amount of Carolina blue. And even you're wearing a Carolina blue shirt today.
Yep.
So I know our viewers can't see that, but we're going to probably see even more Carolina blue in the 804 next year.
Definitely, definitely.
13-1 Saints, 7:14 to go in the game.
A little stoppage in this game right here. I believe it was a foul or something like that called. So
Carson Lamb, number 45, is in the game on defense for the Saints. And beforehand, before the game, Coach Burke could not speak any more highly of Carson and just said he has been a wonderful member of the team, a good player, but just from an attitude, chemistry standpoint, he said he's been a joy to coach. And I feel like that kind of description fits a lot of the guys on this team, and it helps explain the good year that they're having.
Exactly. Now, I will say this game in particular, Saints have been having really, really good teamwork on defense. I know earlier in this game, I believe it was like the second quarter, a Trinity player made a run, and they wrapped them up very quickly. And on the offensive side, just they've been really good at passing and doing things of that nature, so it's been cool.
Yeah, not very few. The unforced turnovers have not been because one player said, I'm just going to go one-on-one and kind of, play individual lacrosse. They've been more just dropping a pass or not making a catch. And I would imagine no coach likes turnovers, but I think coaches are more accepting and tolerating of turnovers when they come in the context of attempting team play rather than individual one-on-one play.
Definitely.
Saints are working the ball here. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Tried to feed it in front of the zone to number 8, Richmond Southall. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Ooh. Ball hit the pipe, so that should reset to 60, and it does.
Yeah.
Let's see who gathers possession.
Good attempt by Richmond Southall there. He had 2 shots in quick succession. The second one hitting the pole right there, but
gotta watch out for Manoli Lupasi. Had 2 quick goals earlier that were very nice for the Saints.
Yep. Ooh.
Low shot from Preston Harrington, number 17.
Yeah. And this team has been kind of, I don't know if plagued is the right word, but kind of plagued with ACL tears, because I believe Preston Harrington had 1 ACL tear or maybe 2, and a couple more members of the team actually have torn their ACL as well. But right as I say that, Miles Harvey with the quick goal right there steps up and fires that one into the goal.
Miles Harvey is going to tear this net pretty soon because he is just having a night.
Right.
Really good goals right there.
He's doing a good job.
But, yeah, the ACL tears are never fun, and it's great to see Preston out here playing after going through his tears, because there's a disappointment, but then there's the hard work and the rehab that goes into it.
Right.
And it's not easy. So that's one thing we talking about, the attitude of this team. I think that's the kind of experience where, quick goal, number 22 for Trinity, and we've said his name quite a lot today, Connor Erlenbach, with a very nice play. He is a very outstanding player. But when the Saints were down, when they were 0-4 at the start of the year, playing very good teams. They wanted to play good teams to see where they were at the beginning of the year, and I don't think there was any pessimism. They knew that it was a process, and they were going to be optimistic and focused on getting ready for prep league play, and that's why they've been 12-1 since.
Yeah, definitely.
14-2 Saints, 4 minutes and 52 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter out on Knowles Field. We've got some new players into the game. Number 44, Trip Owen, is in on defense. We mentioned Carson Lamb earlier. Number 38, Sam Barry, in at D. Number 28, Miller Tatum. Number 11, Walker Mullins, has been in there for a while for the Saints. So always nice when you have a game where you do what you need to do, you get a comfortable lead, and you can play, you're able to give some guys experience, guys that do so much in practice to help prepare the team, and it's nice for them to get some time in the game.
Definitely.
It was important for the starters and the top group with the week that the Saints have coming up to have a good showing and make sure that they did today what they needed to do to be prepared for next week. But now it's nice you get everybody out, hopefully keep guys healthy and give some valuable experience to other contributors as we play out the final 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, definitely.
Number 14, Jeb Hunter, fighting for the ball there. Jeb is a young man I had the good fortune to coach in basketball, and it's great that he's out here playing lacrosse. Jeb is an ultimate team guy, and he's got, as a basketball player, and there are a lot of similarities between basketball and lacrosse, but he's got a very good feel for the game and knows spacing and ball movement and when to shoot and when to make the next pass. And I would imagine he's been a good chemistry guy for this team.
Yeah, definitely. The Saints have been just doing a really good job on possessing the ball. I think the Saints have had it in their possession on the offensive side for, I would say, like maybe 75% of this game here. Trinity really hasn't been doing that well on the offensive side, but they've definitely been trying their best there.
Yeah, if this was it'd be interesting to look at the old football statistic, time of possession, because I think you're right, Max. Saints have controlled it. Oh, there's a nice play, shot by Harrison Dillard, number 10.
Ooh, quickly picked up. Oh, wow.
Nice goal there, number 37, Miller Porterfield. Sophomore midfielder. Great to see Miller get on the board there.
Yeah, and he really took over right there. It was a ground ball, able to scoop that up really quickly and just put it in the back of the goal. So good stuff from Miller Porterfield right there.
Coach Burke said that that there is, as the rain starts to come down.
Yeah.
Coach Burke said that this team, and we will bring our camera inside to protect it from the rain, but Coach Burke said that there's a lot of depth on this team.
Yeah.
And that results in having really good practices. As we adjust our camera, let's can we adjust it and give a look to the Saints faithful that are out here, as well as the Trinity faithful that are here supporting the players on both teams in their umbrellas. We've got a nice crowd out here that has observed a couple of weather delays to be out here supporting the players on both teams who are competing so hard and representing their schools well with a hard-fought game here today.
Yeah, definitely. Rain started to pick up here. Everybody popping their umbrellas. And with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left, not much room to work for either team. Jeb Hunter trying to go inside, but kind of getting sandwiched by 2 Trinity defenders there.
Jeb's not afraid to mix it up and stick his nose into a physical contest. I saw that a lot from basketball. He's a hard-nosed kid.
Yeah, definitely. And I believe
Trinity.
Oh, that was a timeout. I thought it was more stoppage. I was like, oh my goodness.
Trinity calls a timeout. 1:43 to go. Thinking about it being alumni weekend with the alums back, hopefully they enjoy taking a look at St. Christopher's and Knowles Field. And from our vantage point, you can see the hill and the green space on the other side, which we only have a few viewers over there today. But back in the day, that whole area used to be completely covered by trees, and there was no way for spectators to watch on the other side. So Knowles Field has become an incredible venue for watching high school athletics. And it's only going to be nicer next year when we have the lights.
Yeah, definitely.
You going to come back for some games?
For sure.
All right, good.
Especially for the alumni and everything, the new recital hall, that's definitely something they're probably impressed with, because I know when I went in there for the first time, I couldn't believe it. So
that's an incredible space, and it's pretty neat. We've got a lot of guys that will, I know we've talked about Jack Mccoy a lot, but Jack Mccoy, great lacrosse player, football, basketball player, but he's also a singer and sings with our a cappella group, the Bowties. And so we got that recital hall has been a fun place to hear our musicians.
Exactly. Number 20, Tanner Snow, with a good reach right there, trying to just get up in the air and catch that ball. Unfortunately, it kind of soars a little bit above him. Good effort nonetheless. Yeah.
So with 1 minute to go, the Saints are going to improve to 13-5 overall, which will set up a big week next week with the trip to Woodbury Forest and then senior day versus Collegiate. I think they did what they needed to do today. Give Trinity a lot of credit for really making the Saints work, but I think the Saints' depth and talent took over. They made some great adjustments to get things going. I think both teams have probably improved a lot since that first matchup. And what do you think is going to happen next week, Max?
Honestly, next week, with this performance by the Saints, I think the Saints are going to come out on top in their next game. I mean, this is a win by a significant margin here, 13 points. So if Saints can continue playing with this, intensity and, a word that you mentioned a lot, like cohesiveness as a team, I feel like, they're more than capable of winning their next game.
Absolutely, and it's nice. They've already had they've had tough road trips, but including one recently to Norfolk, which is always a tough trip, and playing a good team, and hopping on the bus and going to Woodbury. They'll need to focus on that game and not look ahead to Collegiate.
Yeah.
Take care of Woodbury, and then we'll focus on Collegiate and hopefully have a chance to win a Prep League championship. It's the Saints win 15-2 over Trinity Episcopal. Both teams played hard. Great to have the crowd out here supporting the boys in these weather conditions, and we'll look forward to next week. Max, thank you for the opportunity to join you and Sam today. What a pleasure.
Yeah, no problem. Like to have you on here maybe one more time if you're down.
Hey, anytime you guys need me as a substitute, sign me up. And again, appreciate all that you guys do, Sports Information Department. And we will look forward to another exciting week of Saints Lacrosse next week, Max. And I hope you have a great
oh my goodness
weekend. There's the lightning. Now's the appropriate time to sign off. Hope everybody watching has a great weekend. Thank you very much.
Yep. See ya.